Sure, abuti honestly.
Members, I'll start with you, Honorable Sauls. I'm just, we have 12 minutes each. Interactive session with all our entities. Honorable Sauls.
Thank you so much, Chair. And once again, greetings, everyone. Just a quick question to the council. Everybody would know by now my interest is always on transformation. Just to the council, how do you approach the issue of transformation? What is your definition of transformation in relation to race equality?
Thank you for the question, Honourable Member. Transformation has to deal with, the demographics of, the population, and also regarding gender, which needs to be, taken into account to ensure that either in council, I don't know if the question was regarding members of council, or on which stakeholder within the institution.
Across the board. Across
the board, yes. Demographics play a critical aspect, and of course, the gender parities also need to be respected around that. So, as council, when we, for an example, when the management go through the staff complement, we do, ask and encourage them to ensure that within the staff complement, they do attract, people of different race. Of course, the gender parities are also important. From the presentation that was done by the principal, you might have seen that in terms of gender, the staff complement of the college are more females than males. The difference would then be regarding the different levels, like management, senior management, and according to different categories.
Okay. Just to, when you now look at the numbers of the staff profile, what is your view on especially on most senior level, on the numbers relating to Coloureds, Indians, and white people? What is your view on that?
My view is that we do have a shortfall. One, of course, senior or executive, about one female, which is the principal, with 2 male deputy directors, but across campus managers, we've got more females than males. But
just
on race,
yes,
that is where our challenge is.
Yes.
Which is a subject that have been raised in council that we actually cannot have. But I think we need to mention that we had 2 campus managers who were white females who went on retirement last year, or some early this year. I can't remember. Principal.
Do you view Indians, Coloureds, and white people as Africans?
Yes, we do view them
as Africans.
No, not as South Africans.
Not as Africans.
I am a black African. Maybe
I am a colored African.
Well, maybe we should then have, or we have a white African, for
Yes.
that matter. Yes.
Do you believe in that?
I do believe in that.
So we are all Africans.
By virtue of being in Africa, we're all Africans.
Is that the approach then that you will use in terms of the policy? Will you view an Indian as an African when you deal with the EE demographics?
As I indicated, the issue on demographics, Honorable Member, and the fact that as the college we need to attract, different races, Indians are welcome to part of our...
When you deal with the EE, your plan, the EE plan, connected to the actuals, will you view Coloureds, Indians, and white people as Africans?
Yeah, I think this is a very critical question that you're asking me, that obviously challenge one to think beyond, how one have been perceiving these things.
Yes.
It's very critical.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your indulgence. To the principal, very quickly, do you have any foreign nationals on your staff?
Yes, we do, Chairperson, through you.
How many foreign nationals do you have?
I think from the top of my head, there are 4.
Why is it not indicated on the staff profile?
Okay. I think it's an omission.
Intentional omission or
No,
by
it
mistake?
wouldn't be. They are part of our staff complement.
So did you forget them? I'm
no,
asking, is it an intentional omission or did you forget them?
No, it wasn't intentional. We didn't forget. I think I requested my colleagues in HR to give me information which they pulled from the system, and we took that. It's an omission. It's just an honest omission, Chair.
Principal, I'm struggling to understand that it's either the 4 foreign nationals is on your staff system, correct?
Yes.
So if you pull it from the system, they should be pulled together with the rest.
Correct.
Why are they not pulled together with the rest?
I cannot answer that, Chairperson, now, but humble apologies for the omission. We really is an honest omission.
All right.
Nothing attached to it.
Okay, Principal. These, the 4 foreign national, the 4 positions that the foreign nationals are occupying, is it scarce skills?
Yes, in some instances, yes. In other instances, they have been, I think they've got naturalized citizenship here. They've been in the country for quite a while.
That's fine.
Yes.
I believe that they are legally in the country. No problem. They are
Yes.
brothers and sisters.
Okay.
But in terms of the law, we're trying to deal with the equity element.
Okay.
So the law requires that if a South African is denied a position
Okay.
and it's given to a foreign national, that position must be a scarce skill. It must be a skill that no South African can occupy,
Okay.
right? So my question is, that 4 positions, please name them for me to test this, whether that is scarce skills.
The first one is for the audit accountant. The rest are lecturers.
Are those scarce skills?
Yes, one in the aviation space. We have a lecturer at Hillside View who is teaching aviation. And the second one is in finance. I think what made us to consider him, it's his qualifications and the experience to work with the Auditor General, among other candidates that were there.
Okay,
But
Principal.
for the lecturers, it's normal programs. And I found them at the institution
Okay.
before my
I
time.
need
they
you
were
to be very
appointed.
honest with me now.
Yes.
The position of lecturer, the aviation lecturer, and the finance person. Are you saying those positions you can't find any South African for them?
No, I'm not saying that.
Now that's the test.
Okay.
If you are able to find South Africans for the position,
Okay.
then it is not scarce. So what the institution has done is you have foreign nationals occupying positions that South Africans can occupy.
Okay.
That's the fact. Do you accept that?
Yes, I do. What I think we have tried to be open with our recruitment processes. We put them in the public for everyone to apply. We normally use the newspapers and for access of all South Africans.
Principal.
But
Sorry, just because of my time.
Okay,
right?
sorry.
But I would rather you
Yes.
accept the responsibility,
I will do so,
because
Chair.
to continue is to say that we've advertised that no South African came. Rather, don't do that.
Okay,
Accept the fact that you are in breach of a legal principle.
I accept. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal. Last question is for NSFAS. NSFAS, the college has admitted and accepted responsibility to repay NSFAS the 38 million after the SIU investigation. I'd like to know to date, how much of that 38 million have they repaid to NSFAS?
Thank you, Chair. So I can't give an amount right now at the top of my head, but I know the arrangement was for it to be paid in installments, but I can find out from our finance department and furnish that information at a later stage.
All right. Do you know of whether those repayments are happening every month consistently?
I'd need to confirm that with our finance department, but I know there was that arrangement for it to be paid in installments.
Thank you, Chair.
No, thank you very much. You had 27 seconds left.
Beautiful, beautiful patriots. This is Ashley Sauls Wambiza in Parliament as they're performing an oversight visit in the Free State at the Mutero Tifet College. So had an interaction where he was able to ask questions, and specifically, as you know, as it also mentions, the importance of inclusion, diversity, all races in South Africa. So observed this, which was very, very interesting, and how he's persistent in his questions, and how then his persistence then begins to get the people to actually start to duck and actually kind of avoid questions, even though they're forced, because there's an interaction. So ends up having to answer some of these questions, whether they like it or not. But it's very, very important that we find that we have leaders who are actually advocating for us and all people from different walks of life. Primarily here, you'll also hear that he speaks about Indians and Coloureds. Mostly so, but also not saying that whites and others are not a part of it. Everybody is a part of it. So just wants to more or less push that bit of cohesion onto these people, because at the end of the day, so some of these programs, they have to make sure that all other students from different backgrounds, different ethnicity, also get opportunities. But also we understand that at different places, some might just not apply. But then that also goes on to the question of how many did apply. Now that also gives it a different shape of it, because then you can actually compare to how many did apply, and unlike just saying that we call a small number of colors or Indians. But at the end of the day, if you check, 90% of them were admitted, and then they still are doing that 3-4% or whatever that percentage may be, which is very, very low, and mainly most of it being the black kids who are benefiting from this. But also reminding that also by population, the blacks are more. But also in different demographics, we find that different cultures don't go there, you see. But not always, because also these bigger universities, bigger TFET colleges, that is where many of them will be able to go, because then they actually are near and they actually can actually use those facilities, and is most probably at the nearest big town from them, right? So in most instances, then they also have to be accommodated. Because South Africa is for us all. But then these questions are very, very, very important, because we have to think a lot about inclusion of all races. And so with the pushing of such conversations, then we know we got people who will definitely continue to push for it in Parliament. And no matter what, we can always depend that there will always be people asking certain questions, and which I appreciate a lot from Honorable Ashley Sauls in this regard. So I hope you guys enjoyed this snippet, and please do like, subscribe, and share.
Nothing. Sure, I would do ownership.